Hi again folks, this is just a very quick follow-up video to my previous video on getting this 142 pacer working with my shuttle. Because a few people have commented saying, well, just connect up the two cars. So essentially the motors are wired in parallel. I tried that, and I'll explain in a minute why that doesn't quite work as simply as that. But after I uploaded the video yesterday, I thought I had this working. But after I uploaded the video, I was running it again, and it started having problems again. And it would stop on a couple of points. It would stop on randomly, or even just halfway around the route, it would stop, and the shuttle would suddenly switch it the other way. So I couldn't tell if it was a problem with this or a problem with the shuttle. But when I tried it with any other locomotive, the shuttle worked fine. But I thought, right, okay, so I did a factory reset on the shuttle just to make sure. There's a way you can do a factory reset. It's a bit complicated, but managed to do it. I looked at the units again, and I say this one runs absolutely fine on its own, and this one, although I've wired in wires from the pickups in this car to the motor and the drive wheels, I didn't make this car conductive at all, but still having problems. And I was convinced for a while that it was the fact that one motor runs with reverse polarity. Essentially this car has to go reverse and this one's going forward. And I was actually convinced for a while that that was the problem. There was something in that shuttle unit that didn't like that happening. However, I discovered something. If I ran this with the body off, it ran absolutely fine. And I think it stopped once with the body off. But more often, ran it back 10, 15, 20 times or whatever, and I think only one time did it actually stop. And I thought, what's going on? If I put the body on, it doesn't work. And I thought, right, okay, I must have a dodgy wire. So I replaced the wires in this, and it's now working fine. And I've got the two rear wheels here are both conductive. So it's actually collecting power from 6 wheels, those two, and those two, but not the two drive wheels on the motor. The reason these two drive wheels aren't conductive is because of where the brake on my track is in this station. It's here. So the locomotive has to come in, and I want it to stop about there. So if those were conductive, it would keep going and actually hit the buffers, and this motor would keep both motors would keep spinning because they're still conducting electricity from here because it's not past the brake. That's why I had to only connect those two wheels, and it now works fine. And it was just, I think, a dodgy wire in there. Aren't electronics fun? So thanks to everyone who made various comments about this, because a few people said, well, just connect the two cars up, it'll work fine. Yes, it would have done. If my layout was a little bit different, that would have worked if it hadn't been for the dodgy wire. But I got completely thrown with what was going on. I just couldn't make any sense of it. And testing this with the test meter, I wasn't finding a broken wire. It just seems to be when the body was on, when the wires are pressed down, that seemed to cause the issue with the wire. So I replaced the wires, and it's fine. Right, catch you later.